BORTLE here, but not there. Just want to give a quick shout out to Campos on winning this case tournament with Dragonmaids, destroying meta decks like Brave Token PK, Sword Soul. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video for the CR giveaway winners. And without further ado, please take it away, Campos.
What up, Bortle Nation? Campos here, and today we have something special for you. So, yesterday night we had a special case tournament at Locals, Evolution Games specifically, and we won 12 Megatins using, well, you know what deck I'm using. I'm using the same deck I'm always using. It's either Dragonmaid Heroes or Sky Striker, but this time it's Dragonmaid. Why Dragonmaid? I know you're asking. Well, with the new sets coming out, we have a lot more diversity in the format. And being a deck that likes to grind out and seeing like a whole bunch of different matchups, Dragonmaid just favors is a favorable deck in this sort of like meta game, from what I'm noticing so far. Because there's a lot of decks that are doing like scythe things and stuff like that, and this deck can play under scythe and keep the momentum going. Because even though it'll stop another deck, it just doesn't really hurt this one. And along with that, the ban list coming out, even though it didn't really hinder like some of your worst matchups, like Sword Soul's better now against this deck versus how it was before, because Protos didn't really hurt this deck like before. Now they're just gonna like commit to like a better board, and that board just like beats your board most of the time. It just really comes down to like side deck. So before we get into it, I just wanted to plug a couple things. So right now we're inside of the actual Supreme TCG office, and I have been streaming on behalf of them on twitch.tv/Supreme TCG. Check them out if you want to see some Master Duel content. I've been playing a lot of Master Duel for them, and it has been a whole lot of fun just playing any deck I really want to play on there. Dragonmaid's on there as well, and the lists aren't too different. So if you like what you see here, then check it out there and dive on in, I guess. So we'll start with the monsters, and like always, we'll start with the Dragonmaids. So we got 1 Nurse, 2 Kitchen, 3 Parlor, and 3 Chamber. So this is all of the main deck normal summon Dragonmaids. The ratio is pretty set in stone at this point, I think. This one being down to 2 is the only one that like is questionable. Like sometimes it's like, oh, should I play the 3rd one? Should I not? But with Small World being as good as it is now, with the way I have crafted the deck, it's just not as necessary to have the 3rd copy of this one, because you don't even need your Dragonmaids to really like set up a decent board turn 1 anymore, which is pretty nice. So then moving on, we got the big Dragonmaids. We play 1 Lorpar, 1 Ernest, and 1 Tinkek. In case you don't know, just a quick recap, this one is like an effect veiler during your turn. Except it's not a quick effect, you have to like activate it hard, so it's like really awkward. And it doesn't negate it, it just makes it to where your opponent can't activate those effects, so awkward, but whatever. This one, quick effect, discard itself, special summon a level 4 lower Dragonmaid monster from your hand. This one, discard itself, give a Dragonmaid monster 2000 boost. So of course you have to play these, and the water one's like questionable. It's like almost playable. Like with Small World, it gives it just a little more playability, but it's just not quite there. So that one, it's like discard it and shuffle back a card in the graveyard, I believe. It could be either graveyard, which is pretty nice for like grind games. Just having access to a card that lets you put back any card into your deck is really, really good. But it's just the small Dragonmaid isn't very hot in terms of like its effect that ties together with the water one. And just in general, you just don't like the water, or you don't like the level 7 one as much as you like the 8s, but it's definitely something to look at. But yeah, keep continuing. Even with DP or Fusion Destiny being at 2, we're still playing the DP package. So of course 1 Celestial, 1 Dasher, because there's just too much synergy to just abandon it with in this deck. So the newest addition to this deck, Destrudo. Destrudo is a dragon. It is a level 7. Stat line of it makes it really good for Small World, because like once you use it once, you don't need it again, and it shuffles itself back into the deck, so that's really good. Even if you do like want it again, it's always like an extender as long as you have a card on the board, and the fact that it's a dragon just makes a free seals in case you have like a bad hand or something. But like you'll never have like, I feel like this deck is just never gonna have a bad hand from now on, because like almost any combination of like a 5 cards just gets you there in some way, shape, or form now. And this card's really, really good with that. So like fusion with this and like any other Dragonmaid makes the Omni negate, and then that puts this in the graveyard, so then you can just bring it back and then fusion or link off with it or synchro with it again. Yeah, it's crazy card. So going into the hand traps, we're playing a lot of hand traps. So we'll start off, we're playing 2 Veiler, 2 Ash, 2 Ogre, 2 Bell, 2 Nib, and 2 Phantasma. So I know what you're thinking. Why are there so many hand traps? Well, just the fact that we're playing Small World, I'm just gonna throw this out here now. This is all we're gonna be talking about for the rest of this probably. But yeah, Small World, bridge, like 18 defense randomly. Chamber has 18 defense. 0 attack comes up for like side deck stuff, or 0 defense that is. This thing's even searchable now. Like before, I was just using 3 of this, and 2 of this, because this thing was like good enough to fusion with, so you might as well keep it in. But now with all of them in there, there's like no card I can't search for in my deck, which having access to every card in your deck with 1 card is amazing. Then for my fusion spells, play 1 changeover. 1's enough. It recurs itself. If it gets DD crowed, that's unfortunate, but you don't have to worry about that until game 2. So Fusion Destiny, really good card. Don't have to explain that. Hospitality, really good card. You get sad when this gets ashed, but yeah. And then going onto the traps, play 3 Tidying, and the 1 card that I refuse to take out of my deck is the one of Downtime. This card just wins you every grind game where it resolves, and lets you play around in certain matchups that are not as favorable as they should be, like Sky Striker and Sword Soul, with those like effects that are like effect veilers, basically. Anything like Widowmaker, that stuff. It's like Dragonmaid spoofing is what I've heard it called. I don't know if I agree with that or not, but yeah. Going into the extra deck, we play 15 cards extra deck, 40 card main. Going into Link 2s first, because we do not have any Link 1s in this deck. Fun fact. So before tournament started, I showed up literally minutes after it started, actually. So I had to sign up as a late entrant. So I took a first round loss. And so my only way to win the tournament from then on was to win literally every single round. So I get to the 5th round, because it's a bigger locals, because it's for the case tournament, or this case. And so in the 5th round, I end up getting a draw, and I was very like not happy at that point, because I had a feeling I was just gonna not make it because the tiebreaker that I had for taking the loss in the 1st round. But then they did the pairings, and I got 8th place, and I was like, oh boy, I still have a climb ahead of me, because you know, 8th place, you gotta play all the better players. So 1st round in top 8, I played against PK Adventure. That deck's really good. My opponent broke game 2, and game 1 I won the die roll, I believe, and just set up a pretty nice board, so that was enough. And then top 4, it was up against a Mystic Mine deck. Oh boy, this deck does not lose to Mystic Mine. I felt so bad for that person. I lost game 1, but I only drew monsters, which I think any deck will lose if they only draw monsters against Mystic Mine. But yeah, so games 2 and 3, easy. And then in the finals, it was up against the same deck I drew against in the top in Swiss, and so I got my revenge there and won out. But yeah, I did it with that 1st round loss, and I'm missing like a lot of cards on my extra deck. Just I don't know what happened to them, but yeah, let's just go into it. So this is kind of like a budget list, more or less. I wouldn't say that, but you have options. Anyway, 1 Seals. I would play 2, but I only have 1. 1 Verte Anaconda, because you know you play DP, why not? IP Masquerena. It comes up sometimes. You're always like having a bunch of stuff on board. It's never like a turn 1 play, but like turn 2 and like win harder, it's nice. Phoenix, another good card. Unicorn, another good card. Appaloosa, another good card that does not come up very often, but when it does, it does. Yeah, DP. Yeah. And then for the Dragonmaid extra deck cards, we got 2 House, 2 Shell. Bread and butter of the deck, pretty much. Can't really win without these. I was thinking about bumping up the ratios, but I surprisingly did not own a 3rd copy of like either of these on my person when I entered the tournament, so I couldn't fix my list. Like I couldn't fix my list in general. I pretty much had to play my deck as is because I was entering late. So yeah, it worked out. So last fusion, we play a Mechaba, because we play Nova, because we're missing slots in our extra deck, so we might as well fill them up with cards that do something, you know. So this came up once, and then that player never maximused me again, so it did its job. And then for the synchros, we only played 2 synchros. We actually played synchros for once, so I don't think we've ever played synchros before. I threw in like a 1 of random baron once, but that never worked. But anyway, yeah, 2 synchros. We played 1 black rose and 1 dragster. Having access to black rose off the Distrudo is amazing. It's free. Like, you just having the 2 cards blows up the board. Always great. And then if you're going first, you just make this, and it's just an extra negate pretty much. If you like have an extra piece of like extension or something, or like you don't even have to go into this. You could go into like an IP or something, but it all depends, you know. You have access to like other synchro levels too, but that's a little more experimental. But yeah, 15 extra. We're going to the side, another 15, and we'll start with the 1-0s, 1 pank. This card's searchable, so I'm playing it. 1 feather duster, 1 red reboot. Trap card decks aren't like a big problem, because usually you just grind them out and it's like an auto win anyway. The problem comes from like all the combo decks that like start to side in back row and like you're not really ready for it. So like this thing's just like a clean sweep across the board, but like certain decks, it's like the invoke deck. I think this is fine to side in against that deck, because like schism's like nuts. For some decks, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but like setting them back is like good if you're like just trying to go for game that turn, and then drawing these in like combination. Yeah, you already know. And then going into the 3-0s, the rest of these are 3-0s from here on out. Play 3 dark hole. Yeah, people are like, oh, this card's weird, but I mean, you can pop your own DPE with it. The big Dragonmaids don't die if you have a fusion monster on board and you activate this, and it just trades for a negate if you're going second, which is great. Token collecting. Tokens are a good deck. D-Barrier. Extra deck's a good deck, I hear. And 3 artifact Lancia. Literally every monster is searchable with small worlds, so I'd say that's the MVP of my deck. And yeah, 15 card side as well, and that is the updated Dragonmaid list, and yeah, it's very consistent now, and I recommend all of you play it. So yeah, appreciate all of you all for watching, and hope to see you guys in the next video. Campos out.
BORTLE here. I'm gonna roll for the giveaway, guys. 3 winners, 20-sided die. So we're gonna have 15 through 20, I believe, re-rolls. Thank you so much. Over 300 likes in our last video, and then I'll move over here and show you the pricing. Let's go ahead and give it away for number 1. 18's a re-roll. Weird. All right, let's go. All right, that is the 17. Oh man, this is crazy. All right, 16. Are you serious? Come on. 12. Thank you so much, number 12. Let's go. Now 20 is another reroll. So we have 12. Jeez, man. 12, 8, 12, 8, and boom, 11. All right, let me move over here. All right, real quick. Boom. So we have the right here, the CRs. All right, so we had number, what was it, 8? All right, number 8. Whoa. Faithful Adventurer, our first CR. Barely Ross. Congratulations, man. There you go. And now we have number, I believe it was 12? Whoa! Sosa, Ogre Dance, Collector CR. There you go. And our last and final winner, guys. I honestly don't remember what it was. I'm probably going to have to go backwards. Oh, I think it was 11 actually. Okay, frijoles, wet beans. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. So congratulations to the winners, the 3 winners, guys, for this giveaway. There you go. So it was Barely Ross, Sosa, and wet frijoles. So that was for 300 likes. And man, we almost, whoa, 13 I believe was an Enchantress. 14 Sophia. Hornet right there. We got 10 as the Foxy 2, 9 Resimir, 7 Teleport, 6 Torrential, 5 Strike, 4 Exo Packs, 3 Dragonfly, 2 Meclanus, and then number 1 was gonna be Amazing Dragon. Yeah, thank you so much for participating. Let's hopefully we can do some more giveaways in the future. Make sure to message me via social media for these 3 winners, guys. Let's go.